crystal question. Why is it that high vibrational crystals affect some people more than others? Yeah, interesting. I think what's being referred to here is a high vibrational crystal such as a tachyon, very high vibration. Also a shift crystal, again very, very high. You can feel it the moment you pick it up. I'll give you some more examples. Super 6, everyone knows that's extremely high. I don't have any, oh I do, celestial. Actually this celestial is being carved into a heart. Celestial is extremely high vibration. In fact, it's such a high vibration celestial that in many scriptures, when people have reported being in touch with and in contact with angels in the physical form, they're actually wearing celestial. It's so strong, it's set aside for the angelic realm. So you wouldn't want to have this on you all day. You would start to have your psychic centers distorted somewhat. It actually forces or pushes you down your spiritual path, which you might think is a good thing. And in a way it is if you've plateaued out and you haven't been getting anything come through for a long time, and you're worried that it might be some sort of energetic block, then celestial will push you through that block. But we do say that it comes with a warning really, because you can push yourself too far, and then when your awareness is raised to the extent that your wisdom cannot contain that energy, you start to see things very strangely. It's not like being drunk, but it is like having your perception skewed in a way that everything looks very odd, and in the end there can be fear because of these distortions. So what we say with things like celestial is, be very careful, use it in meditation for 10 minutes, but have it close to you in a room to lift the energy of the room. Never have it close to you when you're sleeping. As you go into the very deep delta wave states, you'll have very vivid dreams that might be quite disturbing. Yeah, the connection can be so great that the effect is distorted and disconcerting. Is the modest way to put it. So, why do these high vibrational crystals affect some people more than others? Well, what I would say is, if you're ready to receive such a high frequency and the divine can see that you have the wisdom to open up to such crystals, then you will start to feel their energy. And at such a point, you should know to respect that high frequency. If someone picks up a high vibration crystal and they say, I don't feel anything, and actually it's been with me all day and it hasn't done anything to me at all, I don't notice anything, why would that be? It's not that they're immune to it. What would be the case there is that their spirit guide has switched them off to the higher frequencies. In other words, they're not ready for it, they're nowhere near ready for it, so they're not going to receive that frequency on any level. But at the point that you start to feel it, you should then have the wisdom to know that it's something to be used in moderation and in a very wise way in meditation, rather than having it on you for hours at a time just to see what will happen. You've moved past those experimental stages, okay? When you're opened up to these high frequency crystals, you are entrusted with the energy, and on some level you have gained the wisdom required to work with such tools. So that's a big compliment, isn't it, when we start to feel these very high frequency ones. What I would say is, everyone can feel crystal energy. And even though someone might be switched off to the higher frequencies, even such a person could sit down in meditation and start to receive something from them even on a lesser level. But I think that answers the question as to why some people feel the high frequencies and it's overwhelming. It's like, wow, this is amazing. And other people pick up the same crystal and think, it's not really doing anything for me. It's to do with personal spiritual growth and where you are on the journey. Okay, I hope that answers that question. That's good. Let's have a look at another question. Another crystal. We've got a crystal theme going on here. If a person is affected strongly by a certain crystal, does it mean they need to work with that crystal in order to get the energy from it? Yeah, in a way, I would go along with that from personal experience. Jade is as a Virgo, one of my main birthstones. And yet, I would say for 46 years on the planet, I've had jade and felt it, knowing full well that it's my frequency, my birthstone, and yet felt nothing from it. It's just empty to me, and it was puzzling me for a while, and then quite literally a few years ago, I walked past the jade on the crystal table and it reached out to me, and there was an almighty rushing sensation of energy, and I thought, that can't be the jade, I don't feel jade at all. And I picked it up and it was sparkling and it was wonderful, and it's been like that with me ever since. So what I would say is, even though it's my birthstone, I've only recently been switched onto it, because at this point in time, jade obviously has something to teach me. So crystals will reach out to you and connect with you at certain times in your life so that they can teach you what they need to teach you about your energy so that you can grow. And jade's all about the heart and opening the heart chakra, and also knowing when to close the heart, knowing when to give love, and also knowing when to close yourself off. Also from jade you have a lot of lessons in very subtle energy. The people around us are always a mixture of highs and lows, and jade helps us to understand in a diplomatic way what's going on in someone's life, especially if someone's acting in a way that troubles us or upsets us. It helps us to go that little bit deeper so that we can understand that actually this person is coming from a point of fear, or a point of frustration, and their actions don't really mirror who they are. And jade helps us to understand that on a more subtle level. When someone acts badly towards us, we can kind of look deeper and then forgive. And the heart chakra is all about forgiveness and acceptance. Okay, I hope that answers that question there. Still on crystals, if you have a crystal on you for a long time, will you then start to attune to the crystal? Yes, you will. A good example of this is Mul Device. Has anyone out there tried to work with Mul Device? It's very high frequency, and its energy is very up and down. It hasn't actually found its resonant frequency, and that's why it's classed as one of the important New Age stones. Because when you work with Mul Device, because it hasn't found its identity yet, it attunes with you, and your energy attunes with it, and you end up with a piece of Mul Device that is very personal to you, that only you can work with. And that pairing of energy between our hearts and between the crystal is really quite a beautiful thing. Something that's very personal to us. It's almost like the crystal chooses us and we choose the crystal, and then the energy that comes through that symbiotic relationship is overwhelming. We can do a lot of healing in the world with that. Now, I will say that the reason I've chosen Mul Device to illustrate this point is because Mul Device, when you first have it on you, feels very turbulent. Your energy can turn from being very peaceful to being very anxious and up here in your heart, like this energy that can't get through your heart. Mul Device will do that. And if you just stubbornly think, no, I will attune with it, I'm going to keep it on me day and night and sleep with it, and eventually I will attune, that's a mistake. because all that happens is the energy builds up within you and it turns from anxiety into, in the end, very real stress, emotional stress. What you do with Mul Device is you connect with it and have it on your person and meditate with it for simply 10 minutes at a time each day, just 10 minutes each day. And when you're not using it, you put it in a black bag so that the effects of the Mul Device are dulled right down. Now, after about 2 months of being connected to it for just 10 minutes a day, you'll start to feel very, very comfortable with it, even over longer periods. And then you might want to increase your connection to Mul Device for about 2 hours a day, and do that for another 2 months. So it is it's something that's very much a labour of love. It takes time to attune to Mul Device and for Mul Device to attune to you. But after about 4 months of very gently increasing your connection to this wonderful celestial stone, you will start to feel extremely peaceful when it's close to you, and then you can have it on you all the time, and it feels wonderful. When Mul Device is attuned to your energy, it protects you and it enhances all of your gifts in the most magical way. Now, it's a magical stone, quite literally. The way it came into being is a huge meteor crashed into a facet cliff of malachite, fused together with the malachite, so the extraterrestrial and the terrestrial fused together and created Mul Device, and it created it in a moment, in an instant. It's proper alchemical reaction that's happening there. So it's a magical stone that came from nowhere, and it came from the stars, and when you have it close to you and on you, you feel very connected to the universe as a result of that. So yeah, Mul Device, in moderation, over a period of time, will attune to you and you will attune to it. And I think it's a good example of how even the very high frequency stones will start to balance out with our energy over time if you know how to work with them, and if you understand that you have to respect their energy. Okay, I hope that answers that question. Well, very crystal related questions today. Wonderful questions. Thank you for sending those in. Keep your questions coming in and we will answer them on next month's questions and answers. I've enjoyed myself. I hope you have too. Bye for now.